Means Business Expo 2025, June, New York City, and no journey to New York City cannabis would be complete if we did not have the opportunity to interview Jeanne Sullivan. And it is my great pleasure to close out. This is our final interview for the Cannabis Means Business Expo, and it's my great pleasure to see you again. We just saw each other in Berlin, where you were exploring and studying the cannabis industry as you do. Jeanne Sullivan is a legend at this point in regards to her ability to invest, consult, and guide investors in the space. I don't want to limit your expertise to one specific area.
Love it.
But you're known as like the investments kind of queen. I don't know what the word
I'll
is.
take queen.
Yeah,
I'll take all the
advisor
I could get.
Yes, no, but
here's why.
It's amazing to see you. You know,
30 years as a tech investor,
right?
And guess what? The problems and issues and solutions, they're the same.
This is like going to the land of the Smurfs and finding Papa Smurf.
Aren't you, Con?
Yes, this is amazing.
Or Mama Smurf.
Yeah, Mama Smurf. Who was Mama Smurf? Smurfette?
I don't know.
Oh, then what?
All I know is
I need to redo that.
The thought of helping a CEO figure things out, not make the same mistakes that I or other people did do, that's thrilling to me.
Now, I've known you've been in the cannabis industry for a while, so I think we first met like 2016 or something.
I've been in since 14. And I am so proud of that.
Yeah.
That's when I left my fund. We had a wonderful $400 million tech fund here in New York City.
Right.
And so I really learned the ropes from 30 years of investing in technology, all stages. And I have a little theme that went on. I was early in technology, then early in the internet days, then early in something called, cloud-based computing.
Right.
Then what happens? Somewhat early, although not like the super OGs, in cannabis. So to leverage all the screw ups, but the successes is thrilling to me. Because as I was saying, the issues are the same. How do you get finance in today's goofy world? How do you open the door to investors? What do you say when you get the meeting with the investors? That's something I love to share and do. So to go to Berlin, like you just mentioned, to see new frontier in cannabis, medical cannabis, thrilling to me. I got to be part of the Talman Group, which is this new investment.
Right.
Then I got to do the 2 days of ICBC.
Shout out to Alex Rogers, one of the smartest men in Europe.
Yes, because he figured
out cannabis. He
figured out more than 10 years ago that Europe would finally come online and wake up. And there they are. So he's right in the right place at the right time. Then listen to this, Dimitri. I got to go to Sicily with John, my husband.
Okay.
Because I
like him. He's a nice guy.
I flew to Brussels then.
Yes.
And I got to MC the Talman Brussels group, all with parliamentary people and with the EU regulators.
Yeah.
Thrilling, because Alex is trying to get Slovenia to get their law passed.
Right.
I showed him he could be the role model for EU countries with Slovenia, and they're up for it. They're going to pass that law. I'm sure of it.
So let's go back to 2014.
Yes.
I remember we met at Arcview.
Yes, correct.
Was that your first step into cannabis?
Yes, because
or were you doing something before Arcview?
No, it was, you're right to think that. John and I got involved with one of the first 10 ROs in New York, those vertically integrated.
Oh, those guys. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was right on the team, and we were investors in one of those.
Okay.
And so I said, John, I had just left my fund, Dimitri.
Yeah.
And I said to John, okay, I'm in. I need to learn the business because I really did not understand the business. I'm in the Just Say No group.
Right.
I thought you weren't supposed to do that stuff. Of course, I toked a little bit in college, but I would never consider myself.
Wait, I call myself a fuddy-duddy.
I love it.
Yeah.
I was right there.
Fuddy-duddy.
So here's what happened.
But we've learned.
Well, here's how I learned. I went to start going to MJ Biz. This will be my 11th year this year.
Right.
And who'd I meet but Steve D'Angelo?
Steve D'Angelo, Andrew D'Angelo. Shout out to the guys.
Yes, and Troy Dayton.
Troy Dayton, yes.
They put the net over my head. They said, we need people who are longtime investors.
Yes.
And you can help us get better investors. You can help us get entrepreneurs.
Okay.
And I said, I'm in.
Yeah.
I read Steve's book and I said, what? We arrest all these young brown and black men and boys. I was shocked to learn that. What? I had no idea. I was just so stupid about the issues. That got me over. I said, I'm in. I see the health benefits. I see what's going on. And I totally came from the whole stigma, learning the stigma was total BS. And so what's fun for me, especially being in the cohort I'm in, people say to me, they said to me back in 2014, why are you doing this? Like I'm running a porn ring. And now they don't say that anymore
Right.
because people are more enlightened.
Yeah.
Thank God. But I so believe that people my age actually can help people come over to drop that stigma.
Right.
And in fact, this is what I'm going to say at Benzinga, and it's so powerful. I say this to everybody. You see, Steve D'Angelo taught me by the gay world changed because people came out. He so believes if you're in this business to come out and share with people why you're in the business, why you believe in the business, why it's important to support. Sure, there can be abuse. I understand abuse. But I will tell you that to be able to be open with people, to tell people about the benefits, to help promote quality products and businesses, that's important to me. So I am all in on the mission despite the craziness.
So you have 11 years of cannabis, and this is why you're invited to speak at all the conferences. This is why investors come to you. This is why businesses come to you who are seeking investment, investors who are seeking to invest. This is why you're this hub of activity. You're the hub.
I like it.
The
I'll
hub.
take it.
I was thinking Queen, but the hub. The
No,
hub's better.
Queen Hub, because
Hub.
I like to connect people.
Yes, yes. And so this is why everybody comes to you. What happened after Arcview? What have you been doing
Yes, yes,
since?
yes.
And how does that get to your current projects and your current
Yes.
workshop?
So what
The
happened
Talman
was,
Group and whatever else.
sure, exactly. So what happened was I've had many years with Arcview. I started a fund
Mhm.
with my partner, Jeff Finkel. We made 22 investments, some
Okay.
wonderful companies. And we have 78 investors. So I still have my left hand managing that fund. We're at
Okay.
the end of the investment period, but we're still doing follow-ons and reporting.
Mhm.
So there's still some activity.
Okay.
But Jeff fully supports me on advising entrepreneurs. So that's what I've been doing for the last few years.
Last few years. Okay.
And that's how Jamie Pearson opened the door for me.
Jamie's solid.
Yeah, to go to Europe to help Alex Rogers help
Yeah.
build the Talman Group,
The New Holland company. Is that her company?
New Holland Group.
New Holland Group. Okay.
Yeah. So how exciting to have this new frontier of Europe. I was thrilled to see it. And I said to everybody who'd listen, it's deja vu all over again in the Yogi Berra style.
Yeah.
I got the very laugh I was looking for
I like that.
because it's 2013 all over again for Europe. And they're going to make a lot of the same mistakes we made, even though I begged them not to.
Yeah.
I outline what they have to watch for, but we could learn from them because, as you know, they've taken cannabis off the narcotics list
Right.
for medical cannabis.
And I'm not an expert on the European regulation, so
No, but Germany is right there on
Right.
having done that.
okay.
And they're leading the charge of the EU countries. So it's very exciting, except what's fascinating to me, it's just flower in Germany today.
Right.
That's crazy to me because I'm
Right.
not going to smoke flower.
No.
You know, I don't want to do that, but I want a diversified, beautiful set of products,
Yeah.
including wonderful low dose beverages.
Yes.
Now, I've been assured all that in time,
Right.
but come on, let's hurry up. But
Well, that's good from a, that let's hurry up is good for the consumers and the patients,
correct.
but also that slow rollout and slow pace of whether it's edibles or vapes
Right.
or beverages. I see opportunity.
I do too.
Yes.
A lot of opportunity.
Yes. And Go ahead.
You know, in Germany, it's the pharmacies that are the ones who are dispensing this flour.
Yes.
Wonder how they feel about the smell of flour in the back office.
Yeah.
Who knows? And in theory, they can compound whatever, but you know, they need the ability to do that. I've been in many processors throughout the United States, and come on, these are big, sophisticated operations now. So I want that to happen, but it can happen. And so, you know, that's where opportunity lies.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that too.
And you're going to be in, are you going to go to the Mary Jane Balloon?
I'd love to, but I have a family obligation, so I'm not going back. Are you going back?
Yeah, but we'll see you in Benzinga next week.
I'll be there, and I'm so thrilled. And let me just share a little bit of what's important to me, because I'm leading the discussion with investors. A serious long-time investors is my session.
Oh, that at Benzinga. Oh, we got a
Benzinga.
preview of our session.
Yes, but let me
You
share
get this
what
out
it is.
before Benzinga.
Indeed, 11 a.m. on
Yeah.
Tuesday. Let me tell you what's important to me. I believe that it's really critical to not talk about fairy tales. We're not going to talk about, hey, when's legalization going to happen? We're not going to talk about when's safer banking going to happen. What are we going to talk about? We're not going to talk about taking it off of Schedule 1, because what's important to talk about, how do you create operational excellence? How do you survive and thrive in today's environment with what you have?
Mhm.
What can you do for your portfolio companies to help them? What can you do for your investments, for your clients in today's environment, just as it is? And as you know, you've met people today and yesterday that are thriving. Well, what are they doing? Where are they seeking that opportunity? What can you do as an investor or a player in this industry? I think that's critical to understand. And then I'm going to start with something really fun. It's something I was asked last year at MJ Biz. What do you wish you knew 11 years ago? What's yours? Think on that, because I'll tell you mine.
Well, while I'm thinking on that, and you already know yours, so give me a chance to think. I want to know who's going to be on that panel. Do you have like some
Oh yeah, I got
guess?
the players. I got the ballers. Got Matt Hawkins. He's been at it for quite a while. I got some really good people who know what they're doing and want to share these thoughts. We've had a wonderful planning session.
Okay.
All
So
right.
that gave me some time to think.
Yeah.
See, I bought myself some
What's
time there.
yours?
There's so many things that I wish I knew 11
Give
years
me
ago
your
that I
top
do now.
3, and I'll give you one.
What a genius Steve White is.
Indeed.
That's one of the things.
Yeah.
That I always give Steve White a lot of
Oh,
credit.
yes.
If he decided to run for president of the United States,
Oh, yeah.
I would carry his briefcase.
Unbelievable. Me too. Can
That-
I help?
Yeah, and and not only is he intelligent, there's a lot of intelligent people, but he's kind and he's diplomatic, and you know, he's just the way he handles himself. Even if he's on the wrong side of things or the right side of things, or even if you're against him, he's always a gentleman. And that's one of the things I love about Steve White. I don't even know why I brought that up, but
I think
but-
he's great.
yeah,
See, through Arcview, I met all these people by introducing them
Yeah.
or moderating or being an MC. That was thrilling for me.
yeah, I think, you know, I mean, I knew a lot back then. But you know, the thing is, if I could change some things, it
Yeah.
would be a lot about execution, you
Okay.
know, and operations more than what I see or what I knew, you know, and I just would share a lot of information with a lot of people. I'd probably focus in a lot more on certain projects, and rather than just say, look, I see this, it's going to happen here, take this. And then I didn't care if they took the ball and ran with it, but they have. And so many people I've shared ideas
Like the
with.
story you told me.
Yeah, the story about the mint and Raul in 2016. Had I known that that man was the greatest retail man that the cannabis industry has ever seen, and he was going to take that ball and turn it into a 150, $200 million a year business, I might have said, you know, maybe I should stick with this man. But then I wouldn't have met the next man or the next woman or the next kid that I've helped and talked to and shared a story with and watched them take that ball and run in that direction. A lot of them trip and fall. Some of them end up having giant companies. So that's happened. So, I don't know. I
Well,
tend not to look backwards.
let me share some of the things I wish I knew.
Yes.
First of all, starting in 2014, I certainly thought legalization would have happened over the next 4 or 5 years. Didn't you?
Yeah.
I certainly thought. Look, it's now 11 years later.
Yeah.
It's far from being here.
Yeah.
That was surprise.
Yes, it was. That is surprising.
Let me tell you, though, a number one surprise: the force of the prohibitionist people, the anti-cannabis people.
Right.
They just are still coming at us.
Yeah. You know what I find, and maybe you reflected on this a little bit. I find that from within the industry, you have certain lobbyists and certain lawyers and certain entrenched individuals that have throw fuel on the fire of prohibition to protect their own self-interests in weird kind of twisted ways. And while I have nothing against people protecting their own interests and their own positions and their own agenda, I just see it as kind of contrary to the spirit of the movement
The mission.
and the mission, the general mission. And I won't, even though I've been invited to participate in that kind of behavior, because I think it's counterproductive and it's just in some sort of general abstract principle wrong. So I do see the prohibition. I see the criminalization of this, the civil penalties for this, the regulation of that. But I see a lot of it coming from our industry, and of course the prohibitionists. So that combined force definitely has surprised me that it's still around and being reinforced in weird twisted ways.
And see, where Europe could prevail is they have this new word, which I'm sure you heard: harmonization. So they're looking to the EU regulators to harmonize the regulations across these countries.
Yeah.
And I'm hopeful for that. It's exciting. I want that. I see that happening.
Yeah, that'll be good. And then, I know there's so many people that are trying to get their. I was just in Canada, and the big theme at the Toronto Cannabis Grow Up Cannabis Conference was all the cultivators, like, because they get 4 or 5 times more
I know.
per gram for their product in Europe,
Yeah,
and there isn't an excise tax that they have to pay.
right,
So they're like, we want to get our stuff over to Europe,
right.
and then with Canada, with Germany being legal, and there being no borders in Europe. I mean, come on, what's.
Now, Bo Wrigley really warns against this huge importing into Germany. He says, be careful. You guys are bringing in so much. Price compression is going to happen. So I've been thinking about things like that. I learned so much by being there. Wasn't
Yeah.
it thrilling?
And the whole industry is thrilling, and the economics of it is thrilling. All the societal, all the cultural aspects of it, the human component, it's all just such a fascinating thing. And I'm glad that I've met you, and I'm glad that I've gotten to know you more over this journey. So
Sure, me too. So
that's fun.
at MJ Biz, I'm sure you're going to be doing your podcast thing again, right?
Yeah, we're at MJ BizCon. We're doing a CPG brand manufacturing distribution pavilion.
Okay.
And we're going to be talking about brand licensing, brand development.
Well, you might want to interview Alex Rogers. He's going to be there.
Alex will
They're
be at
gonna
MJ
have a
BizCon.
whole ICBC kind of area.
Oh.
And so to hear what his vision is for Slovenia and other EU opportunities could be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And MJ BizCon, shout out to them. We work with them, but they're trying to do more and more of these curated kind of content
Yes.
ideas and work with thinkers. They should do a whole investment thing with you.
Yes.
Are they?
Indeed. Not this year.
Not this year.
but
Okay.
I think there is a lot of opportunity.
Yeah.
for
You
it.
could do a whole track on how to invest.
Let's go.
No, whatever. You're too busy. You got to
No,
meet and
no,
greet.
there's always time to make something happen.
Well, speaking of time, we are closing up here because
Thank
it's
you.
toward the end, and it's been my great pleasure to see you in New York.
Thank you, Dimitri. I love it.
Mm.
Wherever I go, there you are. So this is thrilling to me. And wasn't this a good show? I told Christine she's done a great job of rebranding the exhibition floor.
Yes.
Pretty exciting.
Christine, I love Christine.
And she's gotten some new blood.
Yeah.
A lot of California buddies are here.
Chris Day.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Chris Day is one of the old marketing guys from MJ BizCon.
Fabulous.
So it is a good show, and there's some good people. We get to have wonderful conversations like this, and you can walk home from here.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, I got to walk back to Battle. Next year, I'm staying at her house.
Okay.
Okay.
You're more than
I
welcome.
appreciate that.
Thank you, Dimitri.
I was great
Always
seeing
fun to
you.
meet you.
Always a pleasure. And reach out to her. Any investment related questions, whether it's from are you going to invest end, or are you seeking investment end, please reach out to Jeanne. How do they get in touch with you?
Easy to do that on LinkedIn, Jeanne M. Sullivan.
Yes.
You can find me easily, and I'm happy to speak to you.
And she's got a great vibe.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Jeanne. It's a pleasure. And that was another episode of Mita Unshackled.
Did you know who Jeanne was before this? All right.
We've known each other.